Right now, billions of people are watching a ball. They are screaming at it, crying over it. Some of them have painted their faces. Some have traveled thousands of miles and spent money they don't have just to be in the same stadium as it. And when that ball crosses a line, just a line on some grass, entire nations erupt. You think this is modern. You think this is FIFA, television, sponsorship deals, and celebrity athletes. But the truth is far older than any of that. The truth is that your ancestors were doing something remarkably close to this long before football existed, long before stadiums, long before rules. And understanding why they did it tells you something uncomfortable about why you do it too. Let us go back, way back. Archaeological evidence shows that ball games are among the oldest organized human activities on record. The Mesoamerican ball game, played by the Olmec, the Maya, the Aztec, dates back at least 3,500 years. Rubber balls have been found at archaeological sites in Mexico dating to around 1600 BCE. The game had courts, it had spectators, it had rituals attached to it that we are still trying to fully decode. In some versions, the losing team, or possibly the winning team, scholars still debate this, was sacrificed. The stakes were not just symbolic, they were everything. In ancient China, a game called Cuju was played as far back as the Han Dynasty, around 200 BCE. Soldiers kicked a leather ball filled with feathers through a small hole in a silk net. The emperor watched, the crowd watched. Military commanders used it to keep troops fit and competitive. It wasn't just sport, it was preparation for war. In ancient Greece, a game called Episkiros involved teams, a ball, and boundaries. The Romans had harpastum. Medieval Europe had folk football, chaotic, village-wide games with hundreds of players, no fixed rules, and sometimes real casualties. Every civilization, every era, every corner of the planet, humans kept inventing versions of the same thing. Why? Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has spent decades studying the social behavior of primates, including us. His work on what he calls social bonding suggests that humans evolved a set of behaviors specifically designed to create and maintain group cohesion. In our ancestral environment, belonging to a group was not optional. It was survival. If you were cast out, you died. The group hunted together, defended together, and shared resources together. Your brain was built to prioritize that belonging above almost everything else. But here is the problem with large groups. You can only personally know so many people. Dunbar's famous number, roughly 150, represents the cognitive limit of stable social relationships a human brain can maintain. Beyond that, you need something else, something that creates the feeling of belonging without requiring personal acquaintance with every member of the group. Enter collective ritual. Before football, there were hunts, there were dances, there were ceremonies that brought communities together around a shared experience, a shared enemy, a shared moment of peak emotional intensity. Anthropologists call this communal effervescence, a term coined by sociologist Émile Durkheim to describe the electric, almost transcendent feeling that arises when a large group of people move, chant, and feel together simultaneously. You know that feeling. You have felt it in a stadium, or watching a match with a room full of people. That sudden sense that the boundaries between you and the strangers around you have dissolved. That these people you have never met, are strongly your people, your tribe, your blood. That feeling is ancient. That feeling kept your ancestors alive. Psychologist Daniel Wann at Murray State University has spent his career studying sports fans. What he has found cuts against the way we usually think about fandom. Supporting a team, Wann argues, is not really about the sport. It is about belonging. Fans with strong team identification report higher levels of social connectedness, lower rates of loneliness, and greater psychological well-being than non-fans. The team is a vehicle. What it carries is community. Think about what happens when your national team plays. Strangers nod at each other on the street. People who would never speak start conversations. Old men in bars argue passionately with teenagers they've never met and both feel alive doing it. Flags appear in windows, shirts appear on bodies. For a few weeks, the invisible boundaries between individuals soften, and something older and larger takes their place. Your ancestors would recognize this immediately. Not the VAR decisions, not the offside trap, but the feeling, the chanting, the collective held breath before a penalty, the eruption of pure animal noise when the ball hits the net. These are not modern inventions. These are ancient technologies for building the one thing human beings cannot survive without: each other. There is one more thing worth understanding. The teams you support, especially the national team, tap into something even deeper than community. They tap into identity. In a 2010 study, researchers found that testosterone levels in male fans rose significantly when their team won and dropped when their team lost. The brain does not cleanly distinguish between the team winning and you winning. It treats the group success as your success, the group's humiliation as your humiliation. This is not irrational. In an ancestral environment, your group's strength was your strength. Their defeat was yours. So when you feel physically sick after a loss, when you cannot sleep, when the result ruins your week, that is not you being overdramatic. That is 300,000 years of evolution processing a tribal outcome through a modern nervous system. The ball changed, the stakes changed, the uniforms changed, but you didn't. Right now, somewhere on this planet, a child is kicking something round against a wall. It might be a proper football. It might be a bundle of rags tied with string. It might be a can. It doesn't matter. What matters is that they are practicing something their species has been practicing for thousands of years. They are rehearsing belonging. They are learning the oldest human game there is. Not football, not any sport with a name or a rule book. The game of us versus them. The game of who are my people and how do we win together. Your ancestors played it before the rules existed. You are still playing it now. And if history is any guide, your descendants will be playing it long after the World Cup trophy has been redesigned 100 times, and the names of today's greatest players have faded from memory. The ball rolls on, and you cannot look away.